All right, yo, what's up, Brennan? It's been how long
So
since you've
man,
been in the mentorship?
it's been a little bit. I think I joined early January.
Uh-huh.
It was right before the initial ban wave.
Yeah. Okay. How long have you been posting though? Like actually posting videos?
So actually posting, it was honestly like it didn't. It was probably the very end of February, going into the beginning of March. I think that was probably my first week of posting.
Okay. And how much did you end up making? Let's say like your first month.
Yeah, dude. So the first month, like once you're actually posting, I mean, it's absolutely insane. It's like it's almost like a snowball effect. So
Hmm.
basically, what you'll see happen is your product impressions will just keep going up, and as that keeps going up, your commission just keeps going up, um, and it's just crazy. And you just next thing you know, you're hitting like $400 days, in within a couple of weeks, and so it really doesn't take long to start making a shit ton. And honestly, in that first month, um, it was right around like 6K, and I think I'm
Okay.
at 8K now. So, but I basically, I've looked at my graph, like when I go into my earnings,
Yeah.
and you can kind of see right around the time I started, and you see it just like exponentially take off, and then it kind of, it hovers there, and then as you're aware, I kind of played it safe a little bit and slowed down, which is on me. But if I kept it at that, yeah, dude, very easily it would have kept up at that height all the way through. Probably would have been like a $10,000 month.
Yeah, so tell everybody a little bit about just TikTok, the bans that they have, which are gay as hell, and just like why you actually stopped posting in the first place. Because you would have 100% hit that 10K month in your pretty much like what first month of actually posting, and I'm 100% sure that this is gonna happen next month when you actually get back to fully posting. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get some.
yeah,
Go on.
yeah. So like one of the things that that you learn, kind of like as you mentioned, is um, TikTok does give out violations, right? And sometimes it can be, for the most part, it's predictable. Like, just don't be a dumbass when you're making your posts. Keep things realistic. Like, follow the criteria. Like, there's very clearly a method that's working. Just stick to that method. Um, but there is some risk in it. Just in the sense that they are AI videos.
Yeah.
You do need to be careful about quality, text, scale, stuff like that. You don't want to get hit with an inconsistent product promotion. It's mistakes that sometimes you make. I mean, on my first account, when I first joined, like I definitely got a handful of those, but it was part of that learning curve of like, all right, that was fucking stupid. Like, don't do that again.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's kind of something you start to learn, but it's a risk factor that's there. And so just for the sake of not wanting to risk my account, because I made back that the money that I invested so quickly, and I was just like, there's a little bit of delay, you know once it's in your earnings and you can withdraw it. So
Yeah, just
I just kind of.
for a little bit of context for everybody watching, whenever you post
Yeah.
your video and you actually get a sale, you have to wait for the product to arrive to the person's house and for them to not return the product for you to actually get the commission. So that's the little delay between you actually making the sale
Exactly.
and withdrawing the money. But the sale
Yeah.
shows up right away.
Exactly. The sale shows up right away. So it's just that delay period there, and so I just decided to play it safe because
Yeah, valid.
and that was my choice. And there's other people in the group that just kept at it, and they 100% made more than me, and it is what it is. And I just decided to play it safe. But something I emphasize and I've said from day one is that there is no reward without a risk. I mean, that's just the nature of any type of business. So
There you go. And I want to focus less on how much you even made in that first month, which is still impressive as hell. $6,000 in your first month, like, and just starting to post and applying the strategy from the beginning just kind of proves that it works, and it's pretty insane. But I want to focus less
right.
on that, more on the fact of just tell me, how do you like the community? How do you like the calls that we have? What do you wish we had more of? What do you think is missing, etc.? Just give me your feedback on how everything is structured, because when you first
Yeah.
joined you were pretty skeptical about the whole thing. You booked a call and then I had a free day, so I just reached out to you. I'm like, yo, you want to hop on a call right now? So you didn't have a chance to figure out who the fuck I am. So when you first joined, you had just met me. You were pretty fucking
Yeah,
skeptical.
yeah.
So
So
how did that play out into you just kind of being introduced into everything and starting?
Yeah, so I have, you know, just naturally, like being in the construction business, there's a very upfront way that people like to talk, and personally, I like it. It's a very straightforward way. It's a no bullshit, no gimmicks kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly one of your part of your style, to be honest with you, and it's something I picked up on. And so the more I, initially when I saw your videos on Instagram, the videos, and I watched some of your stuff on YouTube, I was like, this dude's like legit. It's just like something I just kind of was like, all right, this dude's not not bullshitting me, basically. And so yes, I was extraordinarily skeptical. You did spend a lot of time with me, which I still greatly appreciate. Our first call, like right off the bat, it was like that same night I think that I submitted the interest form.
Yeah.
And we definitely, we talked for a couple of hours. And you basically said to me, and I'll be completely honest with you, this is what made me go through with this. You said, one of my biggest things was like, when am I going to see this money back? Like, where is the assurance that I'm getting this money back? And you told me, you said I would be a complete idiot if I didn't get this back within the first couple of months. And I was sold at that. I was like, all right, bet that, say less.
And did you?
And I did.
There you go.
In the first month.
So I think you now have my permission to not call yourself a fucking idiot.
So, and that's really all there is to it. So that answers the first part, which is like I guess what I'm trying to get at is how I built a trust relationship with you, kind of how I read your character, how you spent a lot of time with me, and how it's just like, all right, let's do this. And when I first joined the Discord, it was really cool because some of the OGs that are in there, I'm sure, like I instantly, the first, handful of calls, Steve and Tyler were always in there. That's also reassuring, right? Once you start getting in the group of seeing other people and knowing that, oh, this is a legitimate thing. Like these people are also part of this program. They're making money on it. It's more than just one person, right? Like as soon as there's more people involved, again, you start to build this community. And initially, the Discord wasn't bad. It was a good layout. Yeah. But then I remember there was this period, and especially after the ban waves, where I was like, what are we getting out of this? Like what can we get more, like how can we get more information on the server? And then you and Kevin spent like a whole night or day or something like that, completely revamped the server. I mean, you guys made it like it's super, super detailed now. Like that whole server, and then there's the separate one.
To be honest,
go ahead.
That info was pretty much there. It just wasn't organized. All we really did was just make it more organized, and it started with a whole new server.
That is true. That is true. The info was there. It was in different Google Sheets, stuff like that. Yeah. No, you're 100% right. It just became much more intuitive. I guess I should say, once you guys revamped it and you had all the different tabs and all the different categories and everything was broken out in a super organized manner. So it feels super, super it feels way more legit in my opinion. And then you guys broke out the separate, tab for the course too, which is basically where you have all the videos that explain the process from A to B and all that stuff, which is a huge resource. And, so it becomes 100% worth it. Like once you have those resources and those assets, like, the people in there, the community, the calls, the one-on-ones, at any of the time, like everyone in there is willing to help, right? A lot of people are dedicated to this, so you can message them one-on-one, get quick responses. You have your private chat. Everything is super laid out in there now. And then on top of that, yes, the separate one that has kind of like the course laid out, extremely useful information. Like you can't fail. So
let me ask you this: out of everything that you have in here, right? Let's say the stupid video modules, the just being able to talk to the entirety of the community, having the one-on-one access. What has helped you the most? It's where you could tell and move the needle. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, everything is useful, everything's great, but if one of these was missing, and without which one would you fail?
The ones there's actually, it's actually a good question because the easiest one to start off with is just the general chat. I mean, that is like how you stay up to date with with what's going on, what everyone's doing. You know, it's easy to talk in there. But I would also say the wins is a huge one. The wins are very important to see. You know, going through the wins and seeing, you know, especially after you start, after you have these calls and you know these people, and then they're posting their wins on top of that. It's just more motivation to not give up. And it works because, like, you know, I was that person in the beginning that was seeing those wins, like, oh shit, I want to be there one day. And then I was posting those wins, and then I was getting chats from some of the new people in the group, you know, trying to talk, you know, trying to message me about like some of the strategy, what I'm doing that's working, kind of good stuff. So it's crazy to kind of see that like unfold. And then, so yeah, the wins, and then the other parts that I would say are kind of critical, is just being able to have our private chat and our one-on-one meetings that we can set up. Those are like the essentials to not fail.
100%. Realistically, just the one-on-one itself, how accessible would you say it is to you? Like, do you have me and Kevin whenever you need us? Are we slow as shit?
Oh yeah. I know you guys are busy. Sometimes it can take a little bit to get a response, but at the end of the day, you still will respond, and that's the more important part. So, you guys are 100% accessible. You guys are always on the calls. It's super easy to book a one-on-one, and you guys will be at the one-on-ones. There's not really much else to say besides that. It's not like you're non-existent.
Yeah, at the end of the day, look, the way we wanted to set it up is like, the one-on-one, the private chats are there. They're cool. We answer your questions every single day. Even like, let's say you ask in the morning, and let's say one of us has calls the entire fucking day. Okay, maybe we'll respond in the middle of the day or towards nighttime, sure. But the whole structure of the way it's set up is we want everybody to have access to book a one-on-one call, so we can actually help you on a call rather than private chats. I think you used to book more calls in the beginning than now. Now you kind of know what you're doing for the most part. Just reviews.
Yeah, I have kind of gone like radio silent a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but
it's just reviews here and there now. But yeah, I appreciate you breaking down kind of the structure of the community. I'm glad. Actually, I'm not even gonna assume. I want to ask you. Would you say it was worth it in your opinion?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, without a doubt. I would. Yeah, I mean, as someone that's never done something like this before and was super skeptical in the beginning, and you know, yeah, it was super nerve-wracking to me. But like I said, no reward without risk. Trust in the process. Please trust what I'm saying. Trust in David. Trust in the community, and it'll work out. Like, everyone's got your back.
And bro, I'll be transparent in return. You were a fucking pain in the ass in the beginning. But now you're fucking amazing. You do exactly what we tell you, and you actually have the fucking trust in this thing because you saw the results, you saw that it works. So right now you're the fucking dream client because you actually do the work. So that's fucking amazing. So I guess
I appreciate that. I know it was a pain in the ass.
I guess what are the plans with scaling moving forward? Because obviously you saw some initial wins, you made your investment back and a little more on top, but where do we go from here? At least your plans.
Dude, I am once this commission clears, because it's happened so quickly, right? So I don't even have all of it yet, but it's you know, once it clears, like, I'm just gonna take this as much, you know, as far as I can. I'm gonna go back to the 15. There's gonna be a second account that I'm gonna ramp up. I want to start getting into outsourcing the work, and really starting to leverage those other assets that are in there that I honestly really haven't even touched on yet.
100%.
So yeah, that's really the next steps, and then just rinse and repeat as much as I can.
Well, Brennan, pushing it. It's been an absolute fucking pleasure working with you, and I'm excited to record this video one more time when you're at 20K a month. So let's fucking go, man.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Of course.